So James is getting ready for the dinner there. And you can see I've put some petunias all along the border of the planting, and I've also put some on the steps and wherever. But anyway, we bought this pop-up, well that's what it was advertised, new pop-up sunshade with sun petal. So anyway, but so we got that from the MCC thrift store, and there we go, that should be fine. And then you can see the garden in the background. So I also put some petunias in the peat bell row and stuff. And anyway, so about this, we didn't know anything. This came all taped up in this bag, and it didn't really fit
quite in the
bag. That's why it was taped up, because the zipper was cracked. Yeah, because it's very tight in the bag, and they couldn't get it back in, I guess. But the new underline, very much not. It's not new. And yesterday we got it to this point where it's kind of looks like a crab or whatever set up, and we were thinking, well, we don't want to wreck it, we don't know how to do it, there's no instructions with it, you know. Got it from the MCC thrift store, and very much not new. There are holes in the canopy a little bit, so it won't be as waterproof as
a few stains up there, I think.
Yeah. A few stains.
Someone had a picnic on it.
It's missing some of the hoops to hold this curtain up on this side, and it only comes with 2 of the sides, so I imagine that it originally came with 4, but very much not new, but that's okay, because this is actually better than I thought it would be. I don't know about you. Better than you thought it'd be too?
Yeah, even for the 25 bucks we paid.
Yeah.
A little steep really, but
yeah,
considering what the markdown usually is, but
yeah, we'll
see whether it's worth it in the long run. I'm thinking of having it out in where there, for example, we could have used it really well at Dinosaur Provincial Park.
Very much.
Because we had a hard time finding a shaded
table. Yeah.
But I think this is plenty big enough to cover a table.
Cover a
we
picnic
won't need
table.
the
so
sides.
We can take it with us. I mean, it won't really zip up in the bag. That's okay. But
it really folds down to size.
Pretty well. I mean, you can see it. This bag isn't that big, and it's really not that heavy. So, yeah.
I could almost lift it, yeah.
I'm gonna move this a little bit in because the wind wants to move it a little bit more in. So, we'll see how that works out. So, anyway, it's pretty awesome.
I like the color here.
Yeah, it's nice. It's kind of like a happy circus.
Yeah, it's a bit like a circus. So it's our we'll call it our whoop-up days, not whoop-up days, because we don't want to get sued. I don't know who's whoop it, whoop-up days. Because Grand Prairie can get away with their stompede instead of the stampede. So.
Yeah.
But they just change a vowel. We've changed a vowel too. So.
Anyway. No, this is awesome. It went up really easily. At first, like when we tried to set it up yesterday, we were like, oh, I don't want to break it, and I don't know how to set it up. And then I watched this, actually. I was watching this, and up most of the night watching this. I don't know why. But anyway.
Couldn't get to sleep.
Yeah.
It's fairly good for sleeping too. I've slept
I fell asleep a few times.
Me too.
When watching this, and so that's great. Anyway, there was one episode, like after we were trying to get it up, and then we decided, okay, I don't know
what,
because I didn't even know if like you can see it has extendable legs, so we only had it up about this high off
That's
the
the
ground, and I'm like, how does this work?
not
You
even
know,
for
this
midgets.
is yeah, this is not. And then, but I went went home and put this on, and there was an episode where they showed it in this collapsible, like crab-like looking state. There was one, and there was another one that was all the way up, and so I was like, ah. So
Just to cover a
in the
crime-
show they use
crime
to
scene.
protect the evidence or whatever, covering up the crime scene. And so I thought, oh well, that's great. That's going to be great. And so I asked my angels to help me figure out how to do this, and I thought, you know, if it's called easy pop-up or whatever, easy
Better
pop,
live up to the
then
name.
it's got to be easy. So I got it back to the crab state, and then I went underneath it, crawled underneath, and just pushed it up, and it went right up, and it was very easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then figuring out the rest of the stuff, very easy. And then, I mean, I can just go buy some shower hook rings for that, and that's great. And then it's great just as it is. It works just fine, but it'll work even better once I get a couple more rings. That's terrific. Oh, so nice. So this is wonderful. We're just we're dining in luxury here now for the rest of the summer. Everywhere we go, like there's been a lot of times where we've set up at a table and I thought, oh, why do they always put these tables in the sun? You know, and
It's amazing. There'll be
yeah,
no way shade could get at it.
yeah. And so then you're, you know, plus 35 trying to have a picnic, and it's just no fun because it's really hot. But this will work out great. We'll be able to set it up wherever we go and have a comfortable picnic. And it doesn't take long to set up. So I would highly recommend this. It's so great. So great. Really easy pop-up. And yeah, instant shade. Wonderful. Or
So this is our
waterproof.
pop-up fair. You've heard of pop-up events, right?
Yes.
We just don't want people popping in.
No, no.
If someone
But-
walks by and is friendly,
Mhm.
we'll chat with them. But,
Yeah. And then
and
well,
everyone has been friendly.
I wanted
who
to put
stopped
this
chat.
this chair in here for James to lay out and look at his beautiful garden, and
Well,
so we'll
I
see if
tried
he
it
will.
already.
He doesn't think
My
it'll be good for
back.
his back. But once we put a few pillows around you and stuff, you might be all right.
Well, see, one of the big problems, see how there's that dent there? Anyway, everyone's back is different, but mine is extremely different. I've got 5 fractured vertebrae. It's not my choice and not my fault. It's the fault of 10 doctors, rather 9 doctors. One of them was
All right.
retired that I
So-
consulted with.
My angels guided me to get Silent Witness season 13 just so that I could figure out how to set up this pop-up.
It worked out, isn't that
It
amazing?
worked out perfectly.
Serendipitous.
And then it just so happened that this is actually a pretty entertaining season. There's some things happen, and I don't want to give anything away really, because there's one episode that like it says on the back here that there's 5 gripping 2-part episodes. So really it's like 5 movies here on this season.
I guess, like
Yeah.
2 50-minute episodes.
Mhm.
Well, it's actually more like 45.
Yeah.
Would be an hour and a half. So
Yeah.
that's like
And
that's
there's
without the advertising.
one story in particular that I found very entertaining. When looking back at the end, I was like, I should have figured it out, you know, but it's a good mystery because there's so much going on to distract you that like I usually figure things out right away. The mysteries, they're not much of a mystery to me, but this one got me. And it was the one with the where the crime lab, whatever this what do you call it, pathology lab or whatever, I don't know what it's called anyway, the coroner's lab. The head guy, he's being there's a woman who's an insurance investigator, and she's accusing him of fraud. She's stalking him. She's And it turns out that it's a lucky thing she is stalking him. But she's investigating something where, well, really it's a couple deaths, right? She's investigating a couple deaths. And one of them was an insurance investigator, the death of an insurance investigator who was investigating another death, right? And so, yeah, the first one. And so, honestly, there's a lot going on in that episode, and it's really well written. So, definitely worth picking up to watch, and especially if you buy a pop-up shade thing from a thrift store, and you're like, how in the world do I set this thing up? Well, yeah, you can see on here. So there you go. It's worth it for a couple of reasons. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed season 13. Good time.
Wasn't bad luck.
Yeah.
Now, you did already talk about the food, did you?
Well, James has been eating spring rolls because we got these packages of spring rolls for free from the Salvation Army. That was very nice of him to give them because James has been enjoying them, and we had a couple days of rain weather, so I just cooked up a bunch, and it looks like we're going to have a 60% chance of rain ahead in the forecast, so I might be able to do some more cooking if he runs out. So
anyway, I just didn't want to launch into the food until you talked about it.
That's okay. And then it's just a broccoli stir fry, and I think that one I put the honey bourbon sauce from on it, so we'll see if that is okay. Still good. Okay. So, because we got also from, well, I got them, James didn't accept them because I guess his hands were full and he thought he had enough food.
The bag was full to overflowing.
So, because we got a lot of food from the Salvation Army the last time, and so he didn't accept. They offered a box of like a whole case full of Hungry Man meals, and he didn't take those, but he did take the spring rolls. So, and you're enjoying the spring rolls a lot, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So, there you go. Because he's getting all my share of the spring rolls too, because I won't eat them, and I
don't like to think what's in them. But.
Yeah, I did eat the Hungry Man mashed potatoes yesterday when I made James.
There we go.
Yeah.
I wondered what happened to them.
Yeah, they disappeared before you got to. I swapped that out for quinoa, so he got quinoa instead of mashed potatoes. Because I wanted to try the Hungry Man meals the conventional oven way, because they're made to go in the microwave, right? And they also have instructions for how to make them in the conventional oven, and I'm like, you can make these in a conventional oven? Like, I thought, this is not going to work, but yeah, it works out just fine. So
I'd advise people not to eat too much of them. Don't they come in some sort of plastic?
Oh, for sure.
So
yeah.
When you're cooking that stuff up, you're cooking some of that stuff in.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I'm very happy that the flowers are now, all of the flowers are planted, all the petunias, everything. And I had a hard time finding places for a lot of the petunias, but I did, and they look great. And yeah, now I just have to put mulch, wood mulch on the boulevard there, and a little bit here, and it'll be all done for the summer. So we've got our pop-up shelter, we've got the flowers planted, and now we can very safely go hiking away and bring our pop-up shelter places and picnic elsewhere. So this is going to be terrific. It's going to be a great July and August and September with the pop-up shelter. Yep, it's going to be terrific. So I guess James has a lot of books to review, it looks like. Are you going to do 100 Hikes of a Lifetime right now? Okay, I'll show, yeah. Because James has been meaning to do this, and then he gets talking about something else. So this is what he'll be reviewing now. 100 Hikes of a Lifetime. And you have 15 minutes to about there to go ahead and get that.
Now, did you look through this?
Oh, yes.
You didn't necessarily read all of it.
I didn't necessarily read it. No. I read the ones that interested me. But I know I'm not going to go to a lot of the places. And especially when I looked at, oh, this one takes like 7+ days. We're not going to
There's
do that.
one that takes a half a year.
Yeah.
And I realized that it looks as though this guy's, is it just one person? It's a gal, Kate Sieber.
Mm.
She's taken on some tough stuff.
Mm.
Just a forward binder skirt. Yeah, I just assumed it was a guy because a lot of this stuff is guy type of stuff.
Well, Kate Sieber, you have given Canada not a
Short
good...
shift.
Yes.
But what I realized was that's all. Who knows how old she is? Maybe in her 40s, 30s. This is just stuff that she's covered. No, she wouldn't have to be funding it, presumably.
Oh,
National Geographic
that's
would be funding
true. She might not know. Yeah, because you could hike your whole lifetime in Canada's awesome trails. And so, yeah, she just hasn't experienced all of our awesomeness.
No, I think maybe she's kind of saving it for when she gets a little bit older.
Maybe.
I think she's centered out of the United States.
Yep.
So she hasn't done Canada justice.
No, but whoever took the picture of the tea, come on now. Yeah, that's going to make somebody want to hike that trail. You don't do that.
It's like almost a page and a half. Now, the photographs, as you expect from National Geographic, are stunning. It's
Yes,
amazing how...
But again, like the Canada, they did not do Canada justice. The pictures aren't good.
You know, the thing is, when you're in Canada, you want to be indoors.
Maybe that's what they're showing, yeah.
What I found, my parents lived pretty close to the geographic center of Saskatchewan, which is really far north in terms of
It's so
climate.
cold.
And I visited them once. It was around Labor Day. So for you folks
I went
that
to
don't know when
Lethbridge,
Labor Day-
Saskatchewan, for Easter to visit family, and there was still snow, and it was so cold, and it was just miserable. Nobody would want to live there.
Well,
I don't know why people do.
geographic center of Saskatchewan, a little south of Lethbridge. It's called Molinosa. My parents lived there when they were newly married, but so that was like maybe 1950 or something. Then they went up there around the late 70s. It's not the 1870s, 1970s. But I visited them around Labor Day, which is not May the 1st here in Canada. It's like the first weekend, something like that, in September. So it was just before that. That was the last time. Mosquitoes.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Last time. I didn't care about the cold. Now understand, it
Yeah,
wasn't
you
that
almost,
far away
you almost
from...
appreciate the cold there, because then when it's not cold season, it's mosquito season. You have one or the other.
I'll take the cold anytime. Dress up for that. So you were there around, it was cold in around Easter time.
It was like Christmas.
Christmas elsewhere, but
Yeah.
Christmas up there was like, it wasn't unusual for many days of 40 below. So 40 below centigrade and Fahrenheit are I think they're basically the same. So that's how cold it was, folks. And I would gladly visit them because I like my family around Christmas time, but only the once when it was. It was, there weren't a lot of black flies. That's the amazing thing. You were saying Lethbridge black flies too, not just mosquitoes.
I don't know.
Oh no, you were there in the cold. Yeah, exactly right. So I think that's one reason. You know, mosquitoes got to be bad. So indoors.
Yeah,
So-
what they should show is a picture of a place with mosquito netting all around out front.
Something like
A
that.
mosquito netting porch.
For Pete's sake, if you're showing someplace in Quebec,
Because that's a lot of Canada. Is that what that's what you want?
but
not
the other
here,
thing is, you know,
but
show two
everywhere else
pictures.
on that.
Show a moose, you know, in
Sure.
the swamp, something like that.
Yeah.
Here, you know, like show Lake Louise, which you go by that on this trail at the start of it. You know, it's a classic sort of thing, but what the hey. Now, this is kind of nice here.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a nice picture.
that's a nice picture. This is supposed to be a classic cabin. They had one other thing from Canada. Where the house
That's a
on
nice
Crystal.
picture.
So there's good access. This is close to Vancouver. Apparently, it's like you almost could walk in there, I think. Anyway, North America. But, you know, 3 entries from Canada, that's unacceptable when you look at other places. Canada is, I believe, the second biggest country in the world, unless China is now counting Nepal as part of its...
And plus, I mean, we just have so much beautiful stuff to look at here. We're very lucky. Very, very lucky.
There's not complete coverage like China, only 3. So China and Canada are the second and third biggest countries in the world. So let's look at Ecuador. 3. Huh? Ecuador is small, okay? England only has 1, okay. Ethiopia is spectacular. It's got 2, but it's not anything like the size of Canada. France has got 2, and that's overrepresented. I'm sorry. The one that's really overrepresented, one of them, Italy, 5. Italy's small, okay, folks? Yeah, it's got some, there's a volcano there, Stromboli. Mont Blanc is the highest mountain in Western Europe. But, come on, we've got, you know, there's Alpe, Adria Trail. Well, that's more like the Adriatic. But at any rate, they've got the Alps there, but the Rockies are about the same age and height as the Alps. And guess what? There's so much more of the Rockies. And the Rockies just one range. Like it's range after range. There's the Purcell's, there's the Coast Range, there's the kind of glitching on some of them, but there's just range after range. Cascade Range, so on and so forth. It's not just the Rockies. We call them collectively the Rockies, but yeah. Israel has 1. Israel's small folk.
But so, you were talking about Russia.
Well, Russia only has 1. Now, maybe there's a trouble with access or something like that. Where was that? They have it under Russia or the Soviet Union. It's recent, but we should really call it the Great Baikal Trail. So Lake Baikal is the deepest lake in the world. It's stunningly deep. It's got some amazing, well, it used to, who knows how polluted it's become, amazing fauna in it. Yeah. But let's see. So the United States is overrepresented. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah,
Same size as Canada and China, only a little bit smaller. And it's got more than 3 times the representation.
Yeah. And come on, I mean, Canada, we have some awesome trails in Canada.
And you can get away from people. So they've got the Teton Crest Trail in Wyoming. So that's, I don't think they had anything from, what's that one, the big one that's, remember that park that was in that movie where there's a problem with the law outside of it?
Oh, you mean the one that what's-his-face did? The trail that Bill Bryson did?
Well, the Appalachian Trail should probably be in there, and it is. But you see, that's like half a year. Let's just see how long it actually takes. Where are you, Appalachia?
Right there.
There we go, 66. Anyway, it's not Yosemite, that's in California. It's where the Old Faithful is located. Yellowstone starts with a Y. But I don't know if they had anything from Yellowstone in here. It's basically in Wyoming. So it spills over to Montana and maybe a little bit into, is it Idaho? Come on, 66. So, length of trip 5 to 7 months, so half a year. Mm-hmm. But there are other ones that are as long. Right? Mm-hmm. Look at this one, Camino de Santiago, So that's the one that we saw the movie of with Emilio Estevez.
Oh,
as
yeah,
that
yeah.
Martin sheep.
Yep.
30 plus days.
Mhm.
It probably took a little longer. I don't think Martin Sheen was a spring chicken at that point in time. So
Yeah.
that's I have no problem with that. It says Spain and France, but that's the only one that's for Spain. Spain is not that big a country. Most of these places I don't have a problem with. Switzerland really small. 3? Yes, it's basically all Alps, but you know, Alberta, just Alberta has got more thrills. And understand what Alberta only has one entry here. Alberta is the size of Zambia. It's the size of a country, a respectably sized country. South Africa, yeah, that's got some amazing stuff. There's got to be a hike that goes by Victoria Falls. Zambia is not even in here. Rwanda's really small, has a place where you can go see gorillas. Volcanoes National Park, I think there's gorillas featured there. I don't know if I'd want to see one up close and personal. Peru, too. What's that about? You know, it's a small country. Norway, small, too. You know, like, I don't think there'd be much difference between, I mean, it's all fjords. It's chucked in some islands here. New Zealand, small, yeah, it's exciting, but 2 of them, what? You know, like, it's really small by comparison with Canada. Nepal's really small. Now it's got huge mountains there. Okay, so the Great Himalaya Trail. Let's see how long that takes. Five minutes?
Couple.
Couple of minutes. Well, at least we'll finish this one up. So, yeah, the ultimate Himalayan epic. Distance about 1,050 miles. Okay? 1,000 miles. So that's 1,700 kilometers. That's not a day trip. And, you know, it's up and down, 140 to 160 days. So that's more than a third of a year, right? So I think that's what happened, but the person has said, I'm going to cover all these trails myself and review them, but I'm not hitting every possible trail.
Yeah.
So when it says hikes of a lifetime, that's of this person's lifetime, and decided not to stress Canada. But even Canary Islands, you know, it's just part of Spain. I've been there, it's really thrilling. I think I've seen the beginning of the Agnes Lake Trail.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to the Canary Islands. They do have a trail in South Africa that goes up Table Mountain the hard way. I wouldn't want to do that. But I have seen that. I have, not the trail, but Cape. I've been to Cape Town 3 times probably. And you can't help but see Table Mountain when you're there. And we kind of lived up on at least the one time, up on you had an amazing view of the bay. Yeah. But it's not a really good, really representative of what's in the world. Colombia, three trails, same as Canada. And then Australia, a whole continent. 2, only 2. So Australia's underrepresented, China's underrepresented, Canada's underrepresented. Brazil's a huge country. Guess how many trails? 1. Brazil has all sorts of crazy landscapes and stuff like that. I don't know if it was